Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So it's not debatable whether or not Lancaster County has amazing and long-standing restaurants. It's one of their trademarks and really what helps bring in more than 8 million visitors a year. What I have found fun is the debate over which ones are the best, and since making my first video a year ago about the top places I like to eat, I have realized the loyalty and passion that Lancaster fans like myself have for these amazing eateries. And it got me to wondering which restaurants have been around the longest and how old is the oldest one and who are the newbies amongst the favorite places. So this video will be revealing the order from newest to oldest of some of the most popular restaurants in Lancaster County. And one more thing real quickly, so this is just a compilation of my opinions and some of the viewers' opinions that have commented on my videos. So there may be restaurants that you think should be on here that are not on here, and if so, leave me a comment and let me know which ones. I always like to hear from you. So first we have the youngest restaurant on this list at 12 years old, and that is Katie's Kitchen near Strasburg. They are actually an amazing restaurant and growing quickly in popularity. They are fully Amish owned and operated, and their slogan is serving authentic Amish cooking in Lancaster. A really special attribute of this restaurant that sets them apart, I think, from other restaurants is what they offer on Tuesdays, which is the Amish wedding meal. And that's exactly what it says. It's the meal that they traditionally serve at Amish weddings, and you can't really get this everywhere, so this is a pretty special offering. Next on the list at 28 years old is Dienner's Country Restaurant, run by the Dienner family. This is another restaurant that has a heavy influence of both Amish cooking and Pennsylvania Dutch food. The owners grew up Amish, and they have both Amish and English serving the customers. They really strive here to make it a personal experience and have really quality food, and I just really enjoy this place. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Oregon Dairy, and there are two birthdays I want to recognize. The actual restaurant opened in 1993, but it was a growth and expansion of their cafe, which started in 1986. So technically, the Oregon Dairy restaurant is 28 years old as well, but they started serving meals 35 years ago. Today, I will say, the Oregon Dairy, like many others, started as a small family-run business and has grown into a large family-friendly homestead that offers wonderful food and lots of fun. Next on the list, we have another restaurant with two birthdays. Shady Maple officially became a restaurant in 1985, so that makes them 36 years old, but they started serving meals at their cafe back in 1962, which is 59 years ago. This company has an amazing history, and they have continued to grow and expand since their beginnings, and now are the biggest smorgasbord in the country. Next, we are celebrating 37 years for Yoder's Restaurant and Buffet. Like Shady Maple and Oregon Dairy, Yoder started as a market and expanded to include a restaurant to serve the community as well. They offer both the buffet choice and dining off the menu. So next on the list is Hershey Farm's restaurant, which is celebrating its 44th year of serving up delicious food. They are the same age as my brother, and I'm allowed to say that because he is younger than me. The restaurant is part of a large property that also includes an inn, some shops, farm animals, and more. And bonus, if you love sight and sound, this is the perfect place to go because you're right next door to the property. So next up, at 51 years old this year, is the Burnham family restaurant and Smorgasbord. The restaurant part of this property opened in 1970 after a couple of local businessmen, including the owner of the Burnham family inn, Paul Smucker, saw the need for an eatery in this location. Like many others, they have undergone a lot of changes and expansions over the years, but their commitment to quality food remains unchanged. They still serve some recipes by Grandma Smucker all these years later, including the handball recipe, and in my opinion, they have the best handballs in the county. Next up, at 52 years old, we have Good and Plenty, which opened in 1969 under the ownership of the Laps. Word spread really quickly of the excellent food and service, and in only 2 years, they expanded this restaurant by adding room for 600 more guests. They are very well known for their delicious food, especially their fried chicken and their family-style dining, but I also love the older part of the restaurant. It's just such a cool place to eat, and this is my husband's absolute favorite restaurant in Lancaster. Okay, so now it's time to talk about Plain Fancy, which is no longer technically a restaurant by that name, but we're going to get into all that. This popular restaurant opened in 1960 and was the first to serve family-style dining in the area. But then in 2017, they had a major facelift and reopened as Smokehouse Barbecue and Brews. However, they do still offer traditional Pennsylvania Dutch style food on the menu. So if you include the change in the restaurant and add that all together, they have been open for 61 years, which is really amazing. And finally, at 92 years old, we have made it to the oldest, longest standing popular restaurant in Lancaster County. What an amazing accomplishment. Many of you have probably guessed it already, but this honor belongs to Miller's. But really their story goes back even a bit further. The property Miller's is currently on used to be a gas station. Enos Miller worked on the trucks while his wife Anna would cook up some chicken and waffles for their garage customers. But very soon the food demand took over the garage demand, and in 1929 Miller's became an official restaurant. The restaurant underwent ownership change in 1948 when one of the waitresses, Beatrice Strauss, and her husband bought Miller's from the Millers. Then in 1957 the name was officially changed to Miller's Smorgasbord. So there you have it. I think it is just absolutely amazing that it's a total time of 471 years that all these restaurants have remained open. I mean, that's just really cool. One of the really special things about Lancaster is just a place like nowhere else, and with amazing food and people. The people who started these restaurants and businesses are always just so amazing to me. Thanks for watching and enjoy your next adventure.